Welcome to a new era of wrestling podcasts, where the hot takes, fantasy booking, nostalgic trips, and everything that happens in your day-to-day life always comes back to the squared circle. It's the Everything is Pro Wrestling podcast with Mike DeSilva, Josh Flanagan, and Nick Flanagan.
And we are back. Episode 28.
28.
I knew that.
28. Oh, you can any running big, a lot of running
Curtis
backs.
Martin, Marshall Faulk.
Marshall Faulk always comes to mind with 28. I think of Madden 03.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. That was my first Madden that I really fucked
That
with.
jersey did numbers in the hood.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That jersey.
Yeah.
And then the gold alternate was like,
Yeah.
if you could get your hands on the gold
Which
alternate.
I never understood. Cause personally, I found those ugly as fuck.
Yeah, I didn't like the gold
Yeah,
alternate.
I just think
But
it
you're
was
right.
gold.
Like
It
those
just popped.
things
That
were
was,
like they were everywhere.
It
I
was
do
like-
remember seeing those everywhere, and I'm
Yeah.
like, man, those
It
are
was like
ugly as
finding
fuck.
like a rare Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like it was, yeah.
Like I don't even. Are those even legit? Like I don't even remember the
No,
Rams
they did.
actually
They won.
wearing
They
the,
did. I think they only
Okay.
won like once a year.
Okay.
I think, especially back then, alternates were harder to.
Yeah, they were like once a
Yeah.
year type thing.
Yeah, the gold alternate I used to see like in Bob's. They always had like the champ or the Reebok
But they were also
version.
the ones that didn't have like the NFL logo on the
Yeah,
neck.
yeah,
So like
yeah,
that
yeah.
was the biggest key. That that's a knockoff.
Yeah, exactly. But shout out to R.I.P. Bob's too.
Yeah,
People
I know.
local to this podcast.
They held on for a while.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Honestly,
They had multiple going out of business sales.
They did.
Multiple.
Yeah, that's the other thing is these going out of business
Multiple.
sales have been happening for 4 years.
Yeah,
I don't know.
and when the sale is 25%, that's not a going out of business sale.
That's
No.
just a regular Bob
Like
sale.
if you're
Yeah.
not offering me at least like 70% up, you're not going out of business.
No.
Yeah, like I could go to a factory for any one of these things you're selling in here.
Especially Bob's.
Or,
Like
or
Bob's,
outlet.
Bob, like as a kid, spent a lot of time in Bob's. Got
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
of
Oh, yeah.
champion
Every school year.
Sweatsuits, some boots,
New shoes every
socks,
year.
the whole nine.
Backpacks.
Like they always had the good stuff. Even now, like I would go there and get like random team gear from my uncle. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like Celtics. He didn't really care about name brands. Wanted nice stuff. So you can
Well,
get,
they
like,
usually
the
had the
MLB
licensed
sponsor, the
local
Majestic
teams, though.
stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like, you can get good shit, man.
Yeah.
Sad.
So I mean that's but either way, 28. This is what we do.
number,
We
man.
always make it into like a sports thing
Yeah,
because
yeah, right.
especially these low. Once we get into the 50s, it's gonna get fucking
I
weird.
will say,
Not 50s. Like
I didn't throw
60s.
it out last week, but like I did have
Jason
an alternate
Kelsey
one
sees too.
for that wasn't sports last week, where it could have been the Dead Musician episode.
27.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
the 27
well,
Club.
I think it's more than just musicians, isn't it? Isn't it just
It is a lot
celebrities?
of it's like mostly musicians.
Yeah.
I think. And the
Yeah.
big five of them are musicians.
Kurt Cobain.
Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison, and Amy Winehouse.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Heath Ledger,
I think he was.
He
as well.
had
Brittany
to be.
Murphy.
I think she may have
She's
been a little bit
couple
older.
years older. I think she might have been like 30.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I mean, it is a lot
Yeah.
of celebrities, but the majority.
I
of
don't
them
know.
are
Was she?
musicians.
I don't.
Yep.
See, I don't have any. I don't have my laptop. My phone is filming. But yeah, that would have been morbid. But I guess it would
Right,
fit.
that's
Yeah.
why I didn't say it last week. I didn't want to be a morbid, but it was the first thing that popped in my head when we realized it was episode 20. So I'm like,
I
oh,
thought
fuck,
you
it's
were going
the
to go
27
Stanton
Club.
27.
Which one?
Oh,
I could have gone
Mike
Stanton. Why? That's why I said non-sports.
Yeah, you could have also said 27. The amount of World Series the Yankees will still have this year.
I don't know. I think we might be on their
No.
episode.
No.
I don't know. It's
No.
the reason why I wore this hat 2 weeks in a row. That's the
100%.
only reason why.
Yeah, you lost last time you wore it.
We did.
You know you won the
We were
series.
here. When was the last time we were here? But
You were
we
here.
We won the whole
Right.
thing. That's all
Good
that
thing
matters.
we're not playing tonight, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
I hate to say this, but go Dodgers. The two teams I wanted to win the World Series the least are in the World Series, but I do think the Dodgers are going to win.
I will say, as obviously someone rooting for the Yankees, you as well. And I'm trying to find the nicest way to say this. I really do hate that Fernando Valenzuela had to die today.
Yeah.
And or right around the World Series. I don't think we don't need to give the Dodgers any more ammo.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you had to
Any
be
more
selfish.
reasons to want to, show up as if the World Series isn't enough. But,
However, also R.I.P. to the
yeah,
legend.
rest in peace, Fernando Mania. That was like pre our time, 86? 86.
81.
No.
Because he was the
Fernando
pitcher.
Mania was 81?
He was the pitcher when they last beat the Yankees in the World Series. That was his rookie year. Was 81.
Holy shit. Wow.
Because I remember reading that this morning.
Fuck. Old.
Yeah.
But he was the man. Like,
Oh,
I know
yeah.
I dropped the Hideo Nomo recently. Like, no, Fernando was like the original.
He's the man.
Like, he was
and
the
there's
man.
that awesome Vin Scully
Yes,
first
I
pitch
watched
where
that
like
today.
he pretends
Yep.
like he can't.
His
He's like, oh,
rotator
my
cuff.
rotator cuff's acting up. I
I
can't
know.
throw it out. And he
Here comes
brings
Fernando. Yeah.
Fernando out. And
They're
that's so
reunited
awesome to
now.
see. Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah. Two legends.
64. Yeah, I know. Sad. He's only 64
I
years
know.
old. It's crazy
So
to think
young,
about.
man.
It's so
I
young.
know. That's crazy.
But yeah, it is World Series season. It is just always pro wrestling season because it never ends.
Yeah.
It's been a jam-packed week for news, man. There was a big story that came out right after we recorded last week that we can talk about today. But I think the biggest story of the week, our girl, pour one out, Samantha Irvin has left
Fuck.
WWE unexpectedly. I mean, that like in a time where dirt sheets are fucking, they're not always accurate, but like shit like this can leak pretty easily. You know, like there's people that talk. This must have been kept under wraps pretty good because she's the one who made the announcement hours before Monday Night Raw that she is no longer with WWE. She's leaving on her own terms to pursue other things. So, fellas, lot to unpack here. There was a lot of different rumors. There was
Rumor
classic
innuendo ran wild.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it was going crazy. But we can get into exactly some more details about why we believe she left. But what was your initial reaction? We'll start with you, Flanny.
Yeah, utter shock and disbelief. Yeah. Honestly, I certainly didn't see it coming. I doubt you guys saw it coming. I doubt anybody really saw it coming. And obviously, there's again the rumor and innuendo about when did she make the announcement? Was WWE aware, etc. All of these different things. But I think just naturally right away, I was like, damn, this sucks. Like this is a huge hit for the business. And I was trying to think of like the last release or someone to leave or defect that had as much of an impact in the IWC as the ring announcer.
Yeah, I know.
Like that never happens, right? No. And I know obviously ring announcers don't move as much. It's not, it's more of the modern thing that we know her and have that relationship and connection through social media, etc. But I think it shocked everybody in the internet wrestling community, anyone in the business. Was just a huge hit for WWE as a company. Obviously I think she has been someone who's not an in-ring performer, but also someone who is, I think you can credit with so much of the boom we're going through now, and just the way she delivered the announcements, the way she personalized them to the wrestlers, the way she took that fan input, even just the pictures and videos you see of her interacting with fans at the shows was amazing. Obviously we got a chance to see her at Wale Mania last year perform, with her flute and perform an original song. She just did the anthem at the Raiders game in Vegas. So obviously she has a lot of other things. She came into this from the world of music and has not been shy about that or sharing that. So happy for her. If this is obviously the decision she wants and what she wants to pursue, go for it. But I think as a fan of just wrestling, I hate it. I hate that she's going to be gone. I hate that it happened so abruptly. I think it was also frustrating. I think she definitely deserved a proper send-off. Now, maybe she chose to not have one, so I respect that. But, just the quick one-liner that Joe Test gave us on Monday just didn't feel right and didn't feel adequate. No. And obviously Lillian jumping in was obviously a surprise as well. So yeah, it was a blow. I think it was a big blow to the wrestling community. Reading the tweets, seeing all the different input from folks, everyone was devastated. I don't think there's one person who was like, okay, good, that's addition by subtraction. No, it's a big loss for the company, and I think a big loss for wrestling overall if she does leave the business, which is still, I guess to be determined, especially with all the rumor and innuendo out there of when did she tell them? Did she tell them? How did it go down? Is there sour grapes? Whatever. That's we'll know when we know.
Right.
But I think at the end of the day, exactly. But at the end of the day, I think we can all agree, huge loss for the business.
Oh, for sure.
And yeah, it's tough. Like even the one video that really stuck with me that day was her announcement of Cody winning at Mania in tears. And like I also was brought to tears when Cody won, and a lot of it was because of how she was in tears when she did the announcement. And I was like, that's so fucking awesome. That voice cracking, fully just in the moment. Like I think that's what we loved about her, and I think that's what we're gonna be missing with her now moving on.
Yeah, I 1000%. I mean, she got Michael Buffer to give her a heartfelt
that was wild.
The guy who has
the guy,
the guy,
the guy with the most famous quote of all time that we can't.
No, don't say.
Nope.
You better fucking not.
We'll get sued for more money than I think any of us have ever made.
Three things you don't say. You don't say that. Nope. You don't say juice with the other word before it.
Right.
Especially according to my wife.
You don't say that three times.
And then you also don't say the name of a certain wide receiver for the Arizona Cardinals' dad.
Yes.
Those are the things you don't say.
You also don't say Michael Buffer's brother's tagline because he also has that trademark for a shit ton of money.
Wild story. Did you guys ever see the E60 on them? How they didn't know they were brothers and then they reconnected later in life?
I did not know that.
The two biggest voices.
They didn't know they were brothers?
No, they didn't know.
They didn't know each other.
Didn't know they were brothers. Both of them got adopted.
It's like some Parent Trap type shit.
Bruce was looking up to Michael and he's like, oh, we have the same last name, and then did the research and boom, we're brothers. So
that's wild.
Wild ass story if you don't know.
Especially these days with like the ancestry DNA shit. You could always find that out.
But yeah, I completely agree with what you said. Like I literally, when I saw her tweet, did a double take. I was like, did I read this correctly? Like, did I actually... Is she actually leaving? It is a huge...
Because it just said leaving Monday Night Raw at first.
Right.
So you're at first, I'm like, okay, where's she going?
Right. And then you read more into it, and you're like, oh, she's leaving the company entirely. And you know it's a big loss with the fact that if you look at, like, everybody's tweets saying about she's leaving, like you would think somebody died.
Yeah.
The way they're worded and the tone behind them, and it's like it's a
and
massive.
Everybody commented on it. You know,
everyone
as they should. I mean, she's fucking incredible.
Yeah, Bailey had some funny comments. Obviously, Michael Buffer, that was a huge cosign. I mean, crazy, about as big as it gets. And Chelsea Green obviously is affected by this. Yes. I'm pissed off because that's my. Are they gonna keep that in the intro or what?
I mean, Alicia Taylor does it. She does her own spin where she really leans into the Chelsea and then the green, which is cool. But it's not the same.
It's not the same.
Like I love Alicia Taylor. I think she's incredible. But it's just something's off about it.
And then the full Imperium, the full Bloodline intro.
Yes,
I mean it's arguably for me like the best intro of a collective, and it's because of Samantha Irvin.
Yes. Now Samantha Irvin definitely brought attention to the ring announcers that had never been brought before. You know, outside of like an occasional, like who was it? Justin Roberts would do.
Back in the day, Fink would do.
Exactly.
Some stuff.
They'd have certain ways they'd say certain wrestlers' names or whatever.
David Penzer.
Samantha Irvin, to me though, 100%, and like this is no knock, no hate or anything. Could always tell she was kind of always in business for herself in a way. She, to credit to her, because she was so good at it that they made it a thing. They never had the ring announcer in the ring to announce big matches. I know that's a very UFC type thing. Maybe that was a TKO thing, but I think her being as good as she was made that happen. The thirst traps. You know, like we know that she definitely has always had an eye to be able to do her own thing one day. Right. I mean, it's there's no denying that.
I will just a slight pushback is that's more a Triple H thing, the announcer, because he used to do that in NXT for their main events all the time when he was running NXT.
But even like the exact like. Again, I'm saying all this from a place of love. I'm not saying this from a place of hatred or being a hater here. But all of that, there's definitely a part of anybody that's in that position that is partly doing that to elevate themselves.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, she was on, what was it? She was on not The Voice, America's Got Talent.
Yep.
You know, she clearly wants to pursue her career in music. Like that's something that she's never really let go of. So essentially, I think she's very passionate about wrestling. I think she really loved and put all of her power and and talent into what she did in the ring. But ultimately, deep down, I always did kind of feel like this is eventually going to be something else for her that she really wants.
Well, to your point, again, this is just a rumor. We don't know. But the one I've been seeing the most consistently as to why she left was she got some type of musical opportunity that would have conflicted a bit with her WWE schedule. So she asked if they could adjust that, and they were like, no. And she was like, all right, well then fuck it, I'm out.
Yeah. I know there's many different things, but also like if you think about it, her star is as bright as it can possibly be from what she does. You know, unless she gets thrown into some type of storyline, which they did for literally one show with Ricochet when he got written off.
They also kind of did it with the Ricochet Logan Paul stuff.
Sort of, yes.
Because he was like,
he would
how
always
are you going to feel when
it.
your girlfriend says my name when I win?
Yeah. So unless
and she did great in that.
Yeah,
she did.
Right,
but there's also the family aspect of it. You know, her and Ricochet working in separate companies now. You know, having to be. It's a very, as we know, the wrestling and WWE schedule is very restrictive. So if she is pursuing other things. That part alone, like your time, it's not as if like she's working one night a week and then the rest of her time she can spend focusing on her music career. It's obviously they require more from her, and I respect the hell out of her for making that decision because this is literally, what's the word I'm looking for? Like putting all your chips in on yourself.
Yeah.
It's essentially saying like, hey, I got my star here. And am at my peak popularity right now as a ring announcer in the WWE. I might as well try to capitalize on it, and
that window's only closing.
Yeah,
it's not gonna get bigger and wider, and she's not gonna have more time and etc. So yeah, if the time is right, and kudos to you again, because it would have been very easy to be able to just stay pat and be like, oh, I got a great job and people love me and I'm sure she's living well off and all these different things. But if it's not really what you want. Right. Good for you for being able to make that decision.
She's taking she's betting on herself. She's taking a chance, and that's awesome to see. And she's so good at ring announcing that, like, if hypothetically she fails at this, she'll have jobs to fall back on.
Definitely. I mean, that's the thing.
The amount of wrestling companies out there, one of them will make her an offer. Probably even AEW.
Yeah.
Like,
I think they're gonna. I think they're gonna
make her an offer now.
They're probably already pursuing her.
I don't think she's gonna accept it now. I think it'll be a while, but I wouldn't be surprised if a year from now we see her on AEW
or other more conventional sports, anything.
Maybe she does UFC,
anything in that realm. I think it's possible.
Actually, no, Bruce. That's Bruce.
Right.
Yeah, for now. But shit, she got Bruce's brother's cosign. So
true.
Knows, right? Like.
I don't know.
But there's so many things that can pop up and be there for her, so I think that's available. And again, and even if
the PFL, Pro Frightened League, that's kind of fun to watch.
It is kind of fun to watch.
It's not bad. Even if she does go to AEW and she's like, you know what? Yeah, I want to be around my husband and I want to be able to travel. Like, who am I to knock her?
Exactly.
For that? Who is anyone really to knock? If that's a decision she wants to make, you cannot like it and be like, oh, you're going to a lesser company, etc. Cool. It's not you. So if that is what she's doing, look at Renee and Mox. Right?
Yeah.
I certainly didn't give Renee any shit. I'm sure people did, but like, how could you? Really, at the end of the day.
She's such a likable person.
Yeah.
Like,
and
so
that's actually perfect. I'm glad you mentioned that because I was literally gonna bring that up as the same thing of why I could see Samantha Irvin eventually going to AEW because when Renee left, she didn't. Everybody thinks she just went right there. It was like a year before she went to AEW. Like it was a long time. She tried to do other things. Unfortunately, it didn't work. And then AEW made her an offer, and she's fucking killing it.
And she's great. So and I can't knock anybody for that.
No, absolutely.
Kudos to you for having that again, having the cachet to make that move.
Yeah.
Not many people have the cachet to be able to make a move like that. So I can't knock it. Not at all. Like. Good for her.
You only get one life. Live it up.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Absolutely.
We'll miss out, but hey.
Pursue your passions. Always pursue your passions. And if you have to use something to get there, guess what? At the end of the day, we've all seen how business works. It's business is business. Yeah. They'll chew you up and spit you right out.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're replaceable. Hey, look at Lillian Garcia.
Right.
Here she is. She's back.
Yep,
and the first line of her return, she fumbled.
Contained
I felt so bad for her.
I felt so bad.
Because, like, people are going to give her so much
100%,
shit.
Yeah.
100%.
Like, assholes are going to be like, you took this over Samantha Irvin. Like, no, they didn't.
That's not what it is.
Like,
Exactly. That's not what happened. And like we know how good Lillian has been.
Right.
And she's historic, right? She was the inspiration in so many ways for Samantha Irvin.
The first Samantha Irvin.
So it makes all sense of what, it was, we even mentioned it in the chat, like, damn, like out the gate is not good, but like who are we to judge?
Right.
Also, how we don't know how long she had to prepare and what she knew. Right, according to Samantha, because obviously the rumors were, she did it day of, and she didn't tell anybody. And Samantha was like, no, it was months. I gave months of a notice, but like we don't know when Lillian got that call or when Lillian got there, what she had to jump into. The business, the structure, the format is totally different than the last time Lillian was around. So you got to give her time. And even I remember at the end of Raw. I forget what match. The Intercontinental title. The way she introduced that was amazing.
Championship.
She didn't miss anything on that introduction. So like even within the 2-hour show, you saw her getting back in her groove. It's gonna take some time, folks.
Also, the thing she fucked up was pretty goddamn wordy. She had to do WWE World Tag Team Championship number one contenders match. That's a fucking lot. That's a lot. Man.
That was bullshit.
You put them in the spot like that. That's so easy to fuck up. I had to think about it so hard as I just did it. And I'm not in front of millions of people.
Think about that infamous Rock promo where Cena called him out because he had it on his arm.
Oh, he ran out of sand,
So he hadn't been around a while. So that was like even the most fucking electrifying man who, to many, cuts the best promos in the business, needed a little bit of help after being away for a while. So, we got to cut Lillian some slack. Also, it sounds like now she's officially the full-time person.
Yeah.
So, she'll get time and opportunities to get back, and good for her.
Till it moves to Netflix and they fucking move everything around again. And who knows where she ends up.
Then it's like Ruth from Ozark or some shit.
Right.
Yeah.
That would actually be...
Welcome to You Don't Know Shit About Fuck.
Yeah. This is WWE Monday Night. Who gives a fuck? It's Ruth fucking, what's her name? Langmore. It's Ruth Langmore.
She was great on that show, man.
You dumb bitch.
She was so good on that show.
Wyatt, you dumb fuck.
I'm glad you brought that up because this is off topic, but there's this, I don't think this is going to happen, but especially on this week's NXT, I have this small, less than 1% chance fear that like when it moves to Netflix, they're not going to change shit. Like they're still going to bleep out the crowd noises. They're still going to bleep out curses.
That would be straight.
I don't think it's going to happen, but there's this small part of me that's afraid.
It hasn't gotten any better on USA.
That's my thing.
It hasn't. If anything, it's gotten worse.
Which I mean, I get it. It's still technically cable, so like you got rules and shit.
Okay, going from Fox to
right.
That would be
cable, etc.
I agree. But like there's, and I don't think it's going to happen. I think that they are going to let shit fly. But like there is this very small part of me that's like, what if they don't?
And it would probably just be smart for us to condition our brain that way, so that way we can hopefully be pleasantly surprised. And pop if
that would be awful if that happens.
Yeah.
We need.
I
to
hope
stop
I didn't
that.
just speak this into existence. Please,
I don't know. Trips is listening.
Yeah, I know.
Please don't even if you want to, even if you don't want the wrestlers to swear, just let the audience say, "Holy shit!" Don't bleep that out.
I know.
So annoying.
I don't think it's necessarily going to be included in promos. Maybe once in a while you'll get pop or whatever. But
it also is going to depend on the person.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Well,
like The Rock will get away with saying "fuck."
Right.
But like Chad Gable's not getting away with saying fuck.
I think it's like back in the day with like AMC. They used to like one fuck a season. Like Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul. They time it. You get one a season.
You get one, but it can't be the sexual act.
Right.
So you can say fuck. You can be like fuck you, but you can't be like, hey, let's fuck.
Right.
You can't go it that way.
Yeah, that's like on the air. You can't say shit and poop. You can say poop and shit or something like that.
Yeah.
Or shit.
I don't know.
There's one of our coworkers always tells me that you can say that. He has like some loophole. I'm like, I'm just gonna say neither. I'm just gonna go with neither on that one.
It's the safe way to not.
Technically, you can say it if you say shit zoo.
Oh, we used to have to say the TV show Schitt's Creek.
Yes.
We had to specialize that.
Specialize that.
Yeah.
That's like when they used to do like late night appearances. When they would say the name of the show, they'd have to flash it up under them.
Yeah.
So you can see how because it's also spelled differently. It's
right.
SCHI.
Mind you, it's 2024 and 7-year-olds are on TikTok.
Yeah,
right?
We gotta.
What are we doing?
We gotta get
folks?
past
I mean,
that.
come on.
Yeah. FCC
won't
won't let me be. All right. There was a rumor. Well, not rumor. There was started to swirl last week that WWE had signed a deal to do a show from the ECW Arena, and now it has been confirmed. NXT will be there live on November 6th, a Wednesday night.
Wednesday.
Interesting. Going head to head, obviously with Dynamite.
So I wasn't even thinking that. It totally just hit me. November 5th, the election.
Oh,
so probably don't do it on election night.
That's smart. Oh, that makes sense.
Night.
That I didn't think of that either.
It literally just this second hit me.
The way we're going, we might need to push it back to Thursday.
That's true.
I don't know if this election is going to be settled by Wednesday.
It might need to be a month from now.
Yeah, we might need to take
some
some
time.
time.
Bee back.
Oh fuck!
Or
that wasn't a bee, man. That thing was.
It was a death. It was a death hornet. What do they call it? Murder hornet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't want any parts of that.
No.
Some bullshit. There was something flying around up there. Whatever. We'll deal with it later. But yes, NXT going to the ECW Arena, November 6th. A couple weeks away. Day after the election. Damn. Yeah. Maybe we'll see Donnie and Kamala pull up.
Maybe.
I was going to say, if one of those wins, if one of those,
it is in
wins,
Pennsylvania.
I can absolutely see one of them showing up to wrestling.
Specific one,
absolutely.
Yeah.
If it was a week before and they needed some votes,
just did Undertaker's podcast.
Yeah, maybe that.
Yeah,
Donald Trump comes out with fucking Sandman.
Super off topic here, but did Taker and Batista have heat?
I don't know.
Now they do.
Oh yeah, now they do. But like that was so out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's because Batista just did a video like the 2 days before.
Yeah, I mean, he's a super left-wing guy, which is fine, but like, why is he the one you're throwing?
I know, that could have easily been Kevin Nash in that role.
Yeah.
No,
like,
but
I
think it's.
I get it. Batista's a bigger name.
Yeah, he's a bigger star.
But,
and also, it was more relevant because he had just done that video like a day before Batista. You know?
No, true.
So it's basically like, hey.
It just very much felt like Undertaker being like, you know what, fuck you, Batista.
No, you had to make a wrestling connection to it, and obviously you have one very popular wrestler going one way, Undertaker, obviously, and Kane, the Brothers of Destruction going the other way.
One of them a mayor.
One of them's a mayor.
Yeah. And
used to be a dentist.
Yep.
We know what side of the aisle that the mayor was on, but also it's like if that surprised any of you Undertaker fans, you've been living under a rock for a very long time.
I actually didn't see much like pushback about that because I mean it's not like we don't know that.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say he's I've
seen a little, trending, but not a lot.
This is a man who
shouldn't have surprised anyone.
Will still back Vince McMahon. Like this was Vince McMahon's guy. What do you expect?
Like I remember a few years ago, he's wearing I forget the name, the down, whatever that something.
Like front line down.
Yeah,
or something
and
that
was like, okay, yeah, cool. We know where Taker stands.
Right.
Yeah, I mean whatever.
Pretty simple,
I don't
fuck. Let him stand wherever he wants.
Everybody just stand up. Hey, stand anywhere you want. Just stand on business, baby.
I was just saying, like the Batista thing threw me off. Like I wasn't expecting it. I was like, oh fuck, do they have heat or something?
Nah, I guarantee somebody from his social media team was like, hey, Batista just did this video. We got Donald Trump coming in, so you have to throw him into it for a little extra pop.
Fuck, you could Mick Foley just recently put out a video too, shitting on Trump.
Yep.
Like he could have thrown Mick Foley under the bus.
And then Nash posted out
a
picture of the two of them beating each other's ass.
You're comparing or talking about cultural and pop culture relevant right now.
I know. I'm just saying. It feels like, but I get it. Batista's the bigger name. But like he just feels. I don't know. I wasn't expecting it.
Again, it mixed Vince comments too.
Right.
I was like,
right.
I think it is what it is. But anyways,
only a few more weeks of this, folks.
NXT, ECW Arena. What do we think? So what are we expecting here? It's going to be obviously it's already sold out. By the way, it's sold out so fast,
cool as fuck,
which is dope.
It is dope. it's also like 40 people.
Yeah, it's small.
Yeah.
NXT's on fire. I'm not taking shots at it. I'm just saying it's a smaller venue.
Because the NXT a couple weeks ago was in a very small venue. It was
the one in St. Louis.
Small, and it was
awesome. I really
venue.
wanted that to be the look when they went back to the Performance Center.
Yeah.
I fucking loved that St. Louis look.
Great there. So I think it's going to, honestly, the vignettes pop me.
Yeah.
The vignettes of all the old school footage, and then even Shawn in the ring leaning over the ropes talking about it was like, I'm excited because you can tell they're leaning into it. Like, they didn't shy away. It's not like the 2300 Arena, no, the ECW Arena.
Exactly.
Like they did not leave they didn't pull any punches. So I think they're going to lean into it.
I want them to go full ECW.
Yeah.
I want no Trons. I want just a curtain that you walk through, some shitty lighting, like the shitty entrance lighting. Like, don't give me massive. I mean, make the cameras nice so it looks good, but don't give me like super in-arena production. Give me gritty ECW production.
I want Joel Gertner in a neck brace.
Yeah,
I want fucking or Booker, Vic. I don't care who, but lean in, man. Just fucking lean.
I want Shawn holding the phone.
Yep. Yes. Lean the fuck in.
Paul Heyman's making an appearance, right?
Well, I guess we'll get to that in a little bit, but he might be back by then.
That's my thing, right?
Be back by then.
They might speed up his comeback just so he could be at the ECW, or that could be his return.
That could be it. That'd be fucking fun. We did see the Bloodline at NXT recently, so
right.
there is. I mean, it could go anywhere, and clearly, I think they're gonna not hold anything back. That's the vibe I'm getting.
I get the feeling that they're gonna go almost full.
It could be something that spills over into NXT from Monday Night Raw, where all of a sudden they just show up in the crowd, beating each other's ass, and then Paul Heyman comes out, crowd goes insane. I'm very curious to see what type of crowd we get for this show, because I think an NXT crowd is similar to an ECW crowd, where they're more of the hardcore fans, more of the they're into it. They're not on their phones, so you're expecting that type of crowd.
A lot of the same folks week to week, right? Like ECW arena, same arena. So you got the regulars. If you watch NXT, you see the same people in the crowd every week. So they're
season tickets and shit.
Right. Yeah. So I think that I'm hoping. I would love if they could fucking go get the dude in the floral, the straw hat, the floral. Find all those fucking people, man, and load.
You're not gonna get like Sandman crushing beers over his head, though.
No, unfortunately not.
You don't think so?
I don't know. Maybe make himself bleed and shit. You think so?
I do.
CW?
If you saw his Dark Side of the Ring, what was that like a year to two ago? He's the same fucking guy.
Yeah,
nothing has changed. So
how do you not have Sandman make an appearance?
No, he's gonna make an appearance.
And then if he makes an appearance, does he not?
Yeah, that's a valid point. But who else do you think was show up? I mean, Tommy Dreamer, I think is guaranteed, right? Because he's a go-to ECW guy,
right? Yeah. I don't know if he will, because I don't know what kind of terms he's on with the company. But I really want Raven to show up.
Raven would be sick. I would love to see Raven in his flock.
Yeah.
I would like to guarantee. I guarantee Rob Van Dam shows up. Rob Van Dam's going to show up. No, they just recently, there was a story that recently came out. He signed like a Legends deal.
Only wrestlers too.
Yeah.
His only fans for the wrestling community. At first I thought it was going very different. I did like too. Knowing RVD and his partner, I'm like,
it's very possible it went that way.
I was going to say, holy shit. And I'm like, but it's supposed to just be a community to bring wrestlers together. But I think he shows up. Bubba and Devon.
The Dudley Boys will definitely be there. 100%. Hold on. Sneeze coming. Oh!
Hello, sneezer.
Wow, that was the Dudley Boys pyro right there. We started talking about them. I will pop like an MFer if we get Spike Dudley up in the mix, baby. You give me Spike. Spike lives like
Rhode
down
Island
the street. Yeah, he lives down the street.
I'll drive him. I'll drive you, Spike.
Right?
We can
dead ass. We'll take a road trip back to Philly.
I'm fucking down.
Run it back, baby.
Let's go.
My buddy worked with Spike at I'm not gonna out him, but whatever company or business they worked for, worked directly with him, and they dressed up as my buddy dressed up as Spike, and Spike came in full gear for their Halloween.
Awesome.
I have the picture. I'll show you guys afterwards.
Spike post wrestling Spike, not like
post wrestling, post wrestling Spike, within the last 10 years, they wore the tie dye with the overalls and all that shit.
Kudos to Spike.
Get Spike in there. I mean, Spike really only stopped because of his family. His wife really did not want him to continue, and he probably would have died in the ring.
Good wife.
I mean, Brown got a
great
good wife.
Spike. For real. Tua should take notes here.
Yes. Honestly, there was probably just off the top of my mind 3 or 4 times where Spike probably should have died.
Oh my god, the bump out of the ring.
The table spots,
you might be underselling it. It might be way more
those
than
are
that.
just top of mind.
Yeah.
So.
It was is that some of those bumps were borderline attempted murder?
Yeah.
I mean, no regard for life at all. Just slam this man on his head from fucking 10 feet up.
From the ring down to the...
I always just think of the one where Bam Bam threw him into the crowd. Thank God the fucking crowd caught him.
Yeah, I know. No shit. Yeah, just literally.
He also went fucking fly. Like,
Bam
it was
Bam.
velocity.
Bam Bam
Lawn
behind him
darts his
going in.
ass.
I know firsthand. I don't know if I told you. I know firsthand how much Bam Bam lives the gimmick. There was a local wrestling match in like Darlington area. I'm trying to think, like off of Central Ave. There's a Dell's Lemonade.
Yep.
And it's in the same parking lot. It's like
Yep.
a little mechanic
Yep.
shop. The event happened in that parking lot.
Are you serious?
In that parking lot.
How would they even
Dell's.
fit it? That
Where?
thing's so small.
Exactly.
14
There was
people
a ring.
there?
There was like 10 chairs around, and there was this little tent where the wrestlers were getting ready.
Oh,
and
jeez.
Bam
Like,
Bam.
none of
was
that feels like it would fit
No,
there.
no. But I remember shit like yesterday because I remember peeking through the curtain and Bam Bam seeing me, and basically I forget the exact verbiage, but it was more or less like, "Fuck off, kid! Like, get the
Yeah.
fuck out of here!" Like,
I wouldn't-
living the gimmick, and
Yeah.
he scared the shit out of me. And I was like, "Yo, Bam Bam's really Bam Bam."
Right.
Yeah, no,
Like,
it's Bam
it
Bam,
was-
dude.
That scared the shit out of
Fucking
me in the
awesome.
moment, but I had so much appreciation.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, "Thanks, Bam Bam. Thanks for treating me like the way you
Yeah.
should." Like,
That's wild that they had a show there.
yep.
For real.
Never forget. Like yesterday, it's ingrained in my mind.
I'm
How
just
they
having
did it.
such a hard time. Like, you could barely find a spot to park there.
No,
There's so
legit.
like no
Legit.
spaces for
There's
You
no
go to
space,
get Dell's
but-
Lemonade, you're waiting like 10 minutes for one person to leave.
Yeah.
Yep.
But they got
And
Bam
that
Bam.
one
Get it?
person's the only car in that parking lot.
That
too.
ass.
No, it's tight. It's tight, and it's right on like a main road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how they did it, but they did it.
They got Bam Bam
Shout
Bigelow
out to
pulling
Bam
up.
Bam.
I wonder if he got a Dell's. But yeah, no, it'd be cool. I think obviously there'll be a ton of ECW callbacks.
We're obviously getting like hardcore matches.
Yep.
Yeah,
For
there's
sure.
going to be like kendo sticks like you read about.
Do
They're
you
going to
think
be
we get a
everywhere.
Joey Styles appearance? Does he maybe call a match?
I would love it.
I would, too.
I would fucking.
I mean,
love it.
if they're making this a big deal, they have to lean into it.
Yeah.
And you know what? I have more. Again, I feel like we say this is like a broken record. I have more faith in this current regime to do it right, as opposed to like Vince would have had it. Like the big ECW returns would have been like himself
Yep.
and the Big Show,
Bobby Lashley.
and Bobby Lashley and
Right.
Ezekiel Jackson, which we
Ezekiel
mentioned, like that iteration of ECW, like
Yeah.
the 06, like
Yeah.
Sci-Fi Network.
Armando
where-
Estrada shows up to be the GM for that.
yeah, they just do like a diva search,
Yes.
like
No,
ass
I want,
shaking.
Like, I want the BWO.
Yes.
I want
Fuck yeah.
The Blue
Nunzio.
Meanie dude.
Like I want. Yeah,
Give me
I
some
want all of
Stevie
that.
Richards.
Like I would if they could find
Hell yeah.
fucking what's his name? Not Gandito. What the fuck is the one that the Click hated and they fucking ran him out of the WWE. He was the one who fucking retired the NWA belt. Why can't I remember?
Oh,
Fuck.
Shane Douglas.
Shane Douglas.
Holy shit. Like I want those names. Like go back.
Yeah. I don't
want
think we're
all
getting
of
Shane
those.
Douglas, though. Him and
not
Shawn are still on
specifically him,
bad
exactly.
terms.
But like that's I want, man, is it organic as possible.
Yeah.
Have Stone Cold come back and cut.
Yeah, I
that
was gonna
exact
say,
same
yeah.
promo
Give
he
me that
cut.
orange
Same
shirt,
fucking promo
that
with the
orange
bandana,
tank top
like-
with like the black tights.
Please lean into
Shit, give me
lean into it, man.
Malenko's looking ass.
Yo, hell
yeah,
yeah.
have him walk out there,
Yes.
like maybe like an ode to Eddie,
Yup.
give it a little
Yeah.
something from all their classic matches.
Yeah, yeah.
Jericho. Nah, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well.
We
Well, I
get
thought
another-
about that because I thought about like Cyrus. Obviously Don Callis.
Right.
I was like Cyrus was such a big thing. It would have been cool if he either was a free agent or with WWE to be able to come out and cut a similar promo. But yeah, as much nostalgia as you can lean into. And again, to your point, Mike, I have faith that they're gonna do it the right way.
Yeah. Also, don't overdo it though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
You run the risk of overdoing
Yep,
it. So
yep.
don't do that either.
Yeah, I mean, still a 2-hour show. I'm sure
Right.
they're going to have their I mean, it's NXT. It's
Right.
not like it's just ECW. So either way, cool, really cool stuff, man.
Yeah.
I think I love. We clamor for unique pay-per-view or PLE sets again. This is kind of a different way of doing that. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, screw it. Like, here's a venue we'd never be in typically,
Yep.
Yeah.
and let's just bring it back and give you that nostalgia.
And that's where NXT shines.
Yeah.
Like with Halloween Havoc coming up.
Yeah.
All
I
the different
know,
things
it's so
they've done.
good.
The In Your House recently, like and again, Sean and Trips again, like they seem to be the ones really leaning into it. And honestly, they get it right. So if
Yeah.
it means NXT doing it right, as opposed to WWE, as opposed to like Raw, SmackDown, a PLA doing it and not getting it right, I'll take NXT getting it right. I'm
Yeah.
fine with that.
Yep.
For sure.
I'm hoping that this now leads to an eventual NXT Hammerstein Ballroom show. Because I want that so bad. I just love the look of wrestling
Yeah,
inside the
please.
Hammerstein Ballroom, and I want NXT is the perfect show for that.
Yeah.
Preferably a PLE there, but I'll even take just a weekly show.
Yeah. Or like one of the like maybe a special. I mean, they don't really do that anymore. I guess NXT.
What?
Like the
weekly
special,
specials?
yeah.
Well, they did. I mean, don't forget over the summer they did Great American Bash.
Great American
Two-part,
Bash.
yeah.
That
They
was
do,
a,
a lot
they
of
do
it's a
Spring
two-part
Break-In as a
shows.
2-week
Yeah.
show.
yeah.
No,
I
they
guess
still do it.
they still do it. Yeah.
Although I do wish the Great American Bash went back to being a PLE because I fucking love that
Yeah.
as a PLE.
Well, I'm happy Halloween Havoc's a
Same.
PLE because that was a weekly special they
Right.
did for a
Heat
couple
Wave
years.
used to be the weekly special. They seem to have flipped that in Great American Bash this year.
Yeah.
Personally, I wish they'd flip it back.
And is Halloween Havoc on Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's
Sunday at 8.
Is it 8?
It's 8 o'clock start time.
During the
Fuck.
Cowboys and Niners game.
I know. Yeah. I get to watch this team get more injuries.
Yeah, you guys fight it out. And
honestly,
right.
Listen.
I'll watch wrestling.
I've been a Cowboys fan my whole life, okay? Fine. I am 33 years old, which means I don't know much success. I don't. I was 5 years old when they won their last Super Bowl. I mean, it's just bullshit. It's just been bullshit ever since. So this is a year I told myself I was down on the offseason. I didn't like the way the offseason was managed. I didn't like the way Dak's contract was dealt with. I didn't like CeeDee's situation. I knew there was going to be a fucking messy season. They never fixed the running back issue. They brought Zeke back, who should have retired 3 years ago.
Oh, hold on. Jerry Jones just asked me to cut your mic.
I'm not. Listen, I would love to have Jerry Jones on the show.
Ask these questions.
I would love to have Jerry Jones on the show. I would love that.
Oh my God. Can we get him here physically?
You don't replace. Brandon Cooks is like your number 2, and he's in his 30s already. He's already hurt.
I forgot who it was at ESPN, but they said it perfectly. They didn't get better; they just got more expensive.
Yeah,
that's it.
And now you put yourself in a position.
Yeah,
you put yourself in a position where. What do you do with Michael Parsons? I mean, it's just I don't know.
Yeah. He's going to come down
because you got to pay him.
He's going to come up 95 to Philly.
How do you think I feel though?
Like I would state guy.
If Michael Parsons went to the Eagles, I probably would just.
I'm telling you, man.
I would no longer be that would be the last. My loyalty would be with no team. I would be asking for NFL Europe to come back.
Yep.
And I'd be a fan of the
XFL.
fucking Admirals, whatever they
want
want.
to get the USFL
back.
Yeah, me and The Rock.
That's right.
Me and The Rock will be fans of the fucking Dallas
Renegades. Is that the Dallas team?
The Dallas.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Dallas Cowboys.
That's right.
The Dallas Cowboys.
How do you think I feel though? Like, the Niners last won the Super Bowl the year before.
Yeah. I know, but you've been to 3.
Dude, that's worse. I'm not going to lie to you. It's worse to watch them lose than to not even see them get there.
It isn't. No, listen. Okay.
It isn't. This is
a good question.
In the moment it is. But then in hindsight.
It's still worse because I haven't seen them win it back since.
I feel you. Like, at least as an Eagle fan, I didn't have any of the lead up you all did.
Right.
But that I got to in my adulthood. But again, we went to 4 straight NFC championships.
Right. Yes.
We had the Patriots Super Bowl. But then we broke through.
We get to the first round.
At least I got the one recently to hold on to. Like,
the Cowboys, listen.
It's in HD.
Right.
I have it in HD.
That's the thing. Like,
you don't have the whole world against you first and foremost, where everybody.
We kind of do.
Yeah, but that's not you guys.
But even
that doesn't count.
As Eagles fans, not to the level of Cowboys fans.
Please,
so
it's not even close.
But people fucking
I more meant
because
we're Yankees fans.
Yeah. 100%.
So like we do have it just in a different sport.
No.
Oh listen, like right now, I'm supposed to have on this hat a Cowboys jersey. Flint Jordan 13s,
yes.
The blue and the gray and the white, and some jean shorts.
Yeah.
That's the fucking
some type of Lakers thing as well.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Oh yeah, the Lakers Kobe jacket.
Yeah,
you got the Lakers Kobe jacket on with the 3-peat.
Oh, God.
Listen,
and you're also not supposed to know who Magic Johnson is.
That's true.
I don't want to hear it about anybody comparing their fandom to Cowboys fans. Okay, the majority of the people that support the team I like are jackasses, and everybody hates us for it. And there's people like me.
That's how I
like
feel
Yankees
about
fans, exactly.
That's why I've always said I'm not a Yankees fan. I'm a fan of the Yankees because Yankees fans are assholes, and I can fully admit that.
Yeah, I'm gonna clip
they're
that.
pieces of shit.
I'm gonna clip that, repeat it, like put it on a loop.
That's fine, but you got to keep my first part in there.
I know. It's not how this works.
And credit Flanagan with the quote.
Exactly. That's not how this works. Editor-in-chief says nope. That's going to be just Yankees fans are assholes. That's
fine.
it.
That's fine. I mean, the lawsuit may be coming right then, but whatever.
No, you guys signed a contract. That's it.
But I don't remember that.
I was going to say similar to Raiders fans, but they still suck after Al Davis dying.
Yeah.
Your only hope is Jerry Jones passing away. And I don't wish that on you, Jerry, of course. I don't wish that on anybody, even though you probably did some shit back in the day. We know you. We've seen the pictures. Jerry.
I wouldn't say probably.
But yeah, that's probably what it's going to take. But then also, Stephen Jones is no better. So, yeah.
No, I mean, listen.
Jump shit, man.
Everybody said that when Al Davis passed away, and you get Mark Davis. You get the worst bowl cut in history.
Yeah. You just need. You don't even need
one with the Aces.
That's true.
2 in a row.
Yeah,
so
it's not bad. Is he involved with the Knights? Golden Knights?
I don't think so. I think it's just the Raiders and Aces.
Yeah.
You just need a competent GM.
I don't.
Yeah.
Listen, we're not doing this. I'm not talking anymore about the Cowboys. I'm just done with the Cowboys.
We'll get no C on and we'll
I'm going to watch Halloween Havoc. I'll probably, you know what I'm actually going to do? I'm probably going to have Halloween Havoc on the TV and the Cowboys game on my iPad.
Smart. That's smart.
Fair.
That's smart.
Because typically it would be vice versa.
Yeah.
But I have no, I'm just, whatever. Anyways.
Because you're not going to be disappointed with Halloween Havoc.
I'm looking forward to it. Halloween Havoc was always my favorite. Just like brand for a pay-per-view back in the day.
So it just had an aesthetic to it.
And I love Halloween, and I love like the set was always dope. They had like the cemetery. They had the big like
big pumpkin,
big pumpkin,
the headstones,
the demon guy behind
the demon
it.
guy. That one was sick. That one was in Revenge.
Yeah,
that set.
Yeah,
it was in Revenge. I just love it. So shout out to NXT. Shout out to HBK.
Yeah. I really want a Hog Wild back. I really want one of the motorcycle
pay-per-views
back.
No.
Like, I do. I want it back. It just is fucking because it's so different, and it's again. I like that type of stuff where I'm like, I'm never gonna be in that, but I don't mind watching it. Like it was just cool, all them revving it.
I half agree with you. I don't want the motorcycle aspect back, but I want an outdoor pay-per-view.
Yeah,
because that just looking at it outdoors is cool. Like I don't know why, but I love.
WrestleMania 9.
Wrestling.
You ask anybody about WrestleMania 9 as a pay-per-view, fucking
it's the worst WrestleMania of all time.
But being in Caesar's Palace, the walkouts, all the different things just made it, the pageantry of it made it feel cool.
What was the
sucked.
I think it was WCW. I think it was Dusty Rhodes fought somebody in the back of a truck. Like a back
Dustin Rhodes.
It was Dustin Rhodes. Okay.
Was it the bunkhouse brawl match?
Yeah, they were like in the back of like a hay truck.
Start in the back of a truck. Yeah, you had to start in one section of the truck and work your way up to another.
I love that shit. I love that shit.
Vintage like pre-NWO WCW.
Yeah, but the thing is though, as a kid,
that was
I ate that shit up, dude. Yeah. Halloween. I talked about Halloween Havoc '91 with the fucking electric chair match. Like I would not smart.
Yeah.
You know, me and everybody down south watching fucking WCW, we're like, oh, damn, they got him in the damn electric chair.
So that bunkhouse brawl match allegedly led to Dustin and the other guy getting fired because they were told no blood, and then they were like, "Yeah, fuck that, we're blading."
We're blading on this head, boy.
Like, yeah, all right, bye.
Brawl match. Do you not think there's
Yeah, I used to have that on VHS. You know what? My grandfather probably still has it somewhere because I used to watch that shit all the time.
For some reason, I want to say that was at the first ever Spring Stampede.
Oof. I'm talking like
it was like 94 or somewhere like that.
Might have even been before.
It might have been a little earlier. I feel like.
I don't remember when it was. I just remember it was Dustin Rhodes.
Definitely early 90s, 100%. Yeah. Definitely early 90s. I think pre-Hogan. Period.
By a little bit because the first Spring Stampede is pre-Hogan by like 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, so maybe you're right. Maybe it was right then because
I think like that match just makes sense for Spring Stampede, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong on that.
Oh man, that was good shit though. I miss those days truly, and those are things you really can't even recreate.
No,
it was just that time.
It's just that time, and it was just framed properly, and it was just the right time for all of it. But I'm glad that we have it.
They had to close down a highway.
Yeah,
so that way they could fight on the road without other cars nearby.
That's Ted Turner money, baby.
Yeah.
Just let it fly.
That's what CNN can pay for.
Yeah. Not anymore.
That's what the Braves
and AOL. That was before AOL.
Yeah, it would have been pre-AOL by kind of a decent amount.
Yeah, because AOL was when everything kind of went to shit, right?
Yeah, that merger.
Yeah, that's when WCW went
over.
Everything.
That was
ruined
everything. They didn't want wrestling.
Yep, ruined fucking everything.
Well, that was fun.
Where were we? I don't even
WWE program this week. Yeah,
I think ECW.
No, it was ECW. Yeah,
I think ECW Arena sparked all of that.
But we do have
the Cowboys.
No, we're not talking about the Cowboys. I already said that. We're moving on. All right, Bloodline. The Bloodline storyline.
Perfect for the Cowboys again.
Okay. God.
It just works.
It doesn't. It just makes
the best part about this
sad.
Is like records wise, I can't talk shit this year, but playoff record wise, I could talk a ton of shit because you guys have gotten your asses kicked by us like 3 years in a row. It feels nice.
Yeah, you can also just talk shit because your owner's not Jerry Jones.
That's also a fact.
That's really sadly what it comes down to.
I understand. I can understand where going to a Super Bowl and losing multiple times in a decade.
It's a heartbreak I haven't gotten over yet.
But listen, I completely get it. But bro, going 13-3 and fucking losing in the first round every year is not any better.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just not. Because that's a whole season of hope and no playoff hope. Zero. You get to watch nothing. I've watched 3 playoff wins in 25 years, okay? And I think only one of them was with Romo, and I have 2 with Dak. I'm done. Another 4 years. What?
The winning quarterbacks? Is that who it would have been?
Yeah,
I would have thought 2 Romo, 1 Dak.
No, Romo only won 1 playoff game. He beat the Eagles.
Yeah, he did.
He beat the
Eagles. Almost
Eagles.
had 2 if he
didn't fumble that snap.
Oh wait, maybe the Green Bay year. The Green Bay year, did we have 1 playoff win before that?
Yeah, because there was the year you guys beat Detroit and then lose to Green Bay the next week on the Dez catch, not catch.
Okay, so that was so Romo has 2 playoff wins.
I thought he had 2.
So you've had 4 then.
So I've witnessed 4, and all of them were in the first round. And then there was a year, 2007, when the Cowboys got the bye, 13-3, hosted the Giants, and the Giants went on to win the Super Bowl. So I don't want to fucking talk about it. Anyways, the Bloodline story is continuing to build. SmackDown last week, I think the original, the opening, I wasn't really feeling the opening of SmackDown. I know that not the video package, like the solo,
the Jey Uso segment.
Yeah,
I'm so glad you said that because I felt the same. Exact
I was
way.
not into it. I felt like it was nothing.
Well, my thing was it doesn't make sense.
It wasn't organic.
Yeah,
but like, so if they didn't. Why was Jey there?
Yes.
Yeah,
They
I
didn't
agree.
explain why Jay's there.
And
he's just there.
It was funny because exactly what we said last week.
Yes.
About like
They've done exactly what I didn't want them to do.
We know it's gonna happen. Just do it right.
The worst part about it is that whole thing could have changed where if instead of Jey just coming out, if Solo called him out.
Right,
it's
yeah.
one extra thing. You just have Solo go, Jey, come out
in
here.
the sand, where are you?
Exactly. You can literally do the promo the exact same way. It's just Solo calls him out, not Jey just shows up.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make sense. Like, why is he there?
It doesn't. And like, don't get me wrong, I heard the music and I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. Let's see where this goes. But similar. Yeah, there wasn't really much there.
No.
Even the no yeet. But the funny, I don't know if you guys noticed, Wade mentioned it, like Jey looked over to Solo and Solo nodded at him to go up and do yeet, which I'm like, that doesn't make sense either. Why the fuck is he now doing that? I think the only thing that I loved was when he kind of cut the quick promo on Jacob Fatu.
Yes.
Yeah.
But even I did love where he was like, why them? Like, we distance ourselves from them. So I kind of like that. I like that's why they've never been around because this is what we knew they would do.
But here's my thing with that. I get where he's coming from, but why now?
Yeah,
those dudes have been around for like 5 months. Why are you now pissed off about that?
Yeah. Yep. Well, because he was chasing the IC title.
Yeah. But still, like, I don't know. Like, I didn't like the segment because none of it made sense.
There had to be a better way. It's easy for me to say that because I don't know necessarily the better way, but there had to be a better way.
I think a part of it is now...
I think the better way is just Solo calls him out, not just he shows up. Because then he can say all the stuff he said. Like, I wasn't going to bring this up, but you called me out, so now I'm airing my grievances.
Because you are the tribal chief, and you're saying you want everyone to fall in line.
That one minor thing makes everything all better. And
I think
fucked it,
a big part of it, too, just from a kayfabe perspective, is after WrestleMania, Jimmy was on the shelf. Roman was on the shelf for a long time. Jey was pursuing the IC title. And so on and so forth. So to me, in kayfabe wise, he had his distractions. So he separated himself from the bloodline. He didn't like he wanted nothing to do. But with Jimmy being back, Roman being back, and now Jimmy trying to like recruit him back, I think as his it's his twin brother.
Right.
Again, kayfabe hat is on. He's probably feeling a little bit of that pull. Like he's like, I really kind of deep down do wanna.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But kayfabe wise. Yeah, I just saw that too. Kayfabe wise,
my team was on right before.
He didn't want anything to do with Jimmy on Raw. So now all of a sudden, why does he now want something to do with
that was
Jimmy?
My
like
main
there was
thing.
no
had that happened before it.
Exactly.
I would have gotten it. But even then, at the very end of the promo, where he's like, "Next time you see me, it's gonna be a lot different." And
right.
It's like, okay, but then again, you fast forward to Monday, and he still doesn't want anything to do with them. So I'm like, I'm not.
And then. Last month, not this past Monday, the Monday before, he doesn't want anything to do with Jimmy, excuse me. Then they have the backstage segment with the two of them and Roman, and he's like laughing it up with Jimmy.
Yeah.
Like, you just fucking blew this guy off. Yeah. What happened to now change your mind? You didn't explain this to us.
Yeah, it's weird. And I know, like, obviously, Jey being a face, like, so he can get away with some of that stuff.
Right.
But it kind of lost me a little bit because it's like we all knew Jey, we're all suspecting Jey's going to come around, right?
Yeah.
But, like, make us work for it.
Exactly.
Pull it out, pull the threads a little bit more. Like we knew what the end outcome is going to be likely, but like again, yes, I would have loved for it to be set up differently because that pop, when it would have happened, would have felt a lot different. And that can still happen. Obviously, Jey hasn't come back, and still, that there's that conversation with Roman that didn't go. He's like, nope, no yeet, we're not coming back. I don't want to do
I love no yeet,
etc. Yeah, even when Solo said it, I popped. But it was just I lost me too. It lost me too.
I will say one positive thing because I feel bad shitting on it the whole time, and maybe it's been around for a while and I just haven't noticed it. Jey's new shirt. Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
The one he was wearing on SmackDown.
The pink one with
it's very old school. It's very new generation 90s. Shirt. Yeah. I think
he's been wearing that one for a few weeks now.
Okay.
But again, he's got fucking 3 shirts in the top 10 for selling merchandise. So.
Yeah, I mean, even when we were at WrestleMania, you saw everybody was walking around looking
killing
shirts.
it. And I will say, one of the shirts that I love now is Jimmy's shirt. They not what was it? They not the ones.
Yeah, they not the ones.
I'm like, I fucking love that. I was like, I'm ready to buy one of those.
Yeah, OTC. I need me an OTC
Simple
shirt.
And then fucking.
So people know where you get your medicine.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly.
I was, crazy thing. I'm in fucking CVS getting my flu shot the other day, and I'm sitting by the pharmacy waiting. And as I look up, everything in front of me said OTC.
Of course it did.
Every fucking day, and that's all I thought.
He's everywhere.
Everywhere. I'm like, what?
He's everywhere, dude.
Like
because everything is pro wrestling.
Yeah,
we acknowledge our tribal chief.
Because fucking original tribal chief. What is it? Original tribal chief is what they ran with for OTC.
I thought it's only tribal chief.
But in my head, I was like, original tribal chief. I think now he's leaning into that as well, trying to play to all the different OTCs. But
I hope he finally leans into what it actually is, over the counter. That'd be fun.
Yeah,
I would love if they just once
over the counter
to fuck with us.
That would be fun.
And then Jey drops. We're always gonna keep doing that. Yes. Jey drops the IC title Monday night to Bron Breakker in a very bullshit way. Obviously, the Bloodline's interference, which essentially sets you up for this event to be the inevitable of now he doesn't have the IC title to worry about anymore. Now Roman and Jimmy are gonna recruit him, and the question now becomes, who is the fourth man?
Sami Zayn,
right?
Probably.
He had a tweet the other day. What was it? But it was I couldn't remember, but it was very cryptic. I think a lot of people would have thought it was Kevin Owens, but I think it might be Bloodline related. I forget the verbiage, so I'm sorry for throwing it out there, but it was a little cryptic that made me think.
Because Sammy hasn't been doing anything, right?
Yeah, not since he lost to Gunther.
Yeah. So
we know we're not seeing him at Crown Jewel, so we're not going to see him anytime soon.
That's true. Oh, that's true too. That's true too.
Although
the Crown Jewel.
He has appeared at the last couple of Saudi shows, so I suppose it's possible.
Okay, so maybe.
I don't think he will, but I guess it's possible.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Probably avoidable for him if he can, or he'll avoid it if it's possible. But
unless it doesn't absolutely make sense storyline wise.
Yeah. So Bron Breakker getting the IC title back, I think is fine.
I think it's awesome.
Because you were Jey showing that he can do it, winning it, carrying it for a little bit, bringing that pop of the blue in the belt. Shout out to you. Oos, we appreciate
held it for
that.
Exactly 4 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, he didn't need it long.
No, and we talked about that. We don't need super long title reigns every time, and that moved a storyline forward in multiple ways, right? Because now you're allowing Bron Breakker to have the title again and feud with somebody else, and also you have Jey now being heavily recruited by his brother and his cousin. So I think that was fine.
And I remember seeing some tweets where it was like, "Does Jey need the bloodline? Is he past it?" It's like it's bigger than that. Guy. It's not that. Like Jey doesn't need the bloodline, and that's why he just showcased he was an IC champion. He can do it all on his own. So I'm glad he got that moment, and that was intentional. But it's bigger than him. It's bigger than just one individual.
Right.
If you're gonna have Jimmy and you're gonna have Roman, you gotta have Jey.
That's the thing.
It makes all the sense in the world. And somebody I was reminded, Gorillas of Destiny. Tom cut a promo a long time ago on the Usos.
Yeah.
So we obviously know what that's building. That's probably the Mania match, that tag team match. So it had to, for the sake of the storyline, Jey had to, for lack of better terms, conform and kind of fall in line. He had to.
Because my thing is, Jey doesn't need the bloodline, but the bloodline storyline needs Jey.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
No.
I will say the one thing about the IC title match, I didn't, and this was more a couple weeks ago, I didn't love hey, look, Bron Breakker is a babyface. And then next week, just kidding. He's still a heel.
Because it caught us a little off guard.
Yeah, no, it did.
I think we thought it was going there, and it was. And I guess the way he said it, because if you think back to the moment, like Jey gave him Jey did the yeet, but Jey didn't really say much.
No, but he said the thing of like, there's a bunch of dogs barking.
Exactly.
Like,
he
really alluded to a Bron Breakker face turn.
You can see Bron was like, he didn't ignite, and I'm like, I kind of did, but okay, I know you need to now make it make sense.
Right.
And he's such a great fucking heel.
Oh, he's a great heel.
I mean, I get it.
I just figured then don't tease the face turn.
Yeah.
Especially if you're just going to
and that made me wonder, did they make a change creatively in that week?
Think they
or
did, yeah.
was that just they wanted to swerve us and give us a little something to go off of?
I think it was that felt very Vince McMahon-esque. Fuck it.
Yep. I'm curious to ask you guys before we move on, what was your favorite part of the Bron Jey match on Monday? Because I want to tell you mine.
When he clotheslined Solo instead of spearing him.
Yep.
Fucking got him right on the neck.
Yeah, he had him in the neck, yeah. Favorite part of the match? Let's hear yours.
So mine, it wasn't anything to do in the ring or the match. It was simply Bron and Jacob Fatu's face-off.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the other thing. I like that they teased that. Because that's
fucking amazing.
That, to me, is a feud that we need down the road somewhere.
That's going to feed families for the next decade.
Yes, that's going to be incredible.
That will be the main event, fucking your face, your heel, whichever one you turn face and heel. Because that's the great thing.
But I want a full-out brawl with those two.
That face-off. And as they started to walk, because even I'm like, when's Jacob Fatu? I'm like, He just fucking did that solo. Why is Jacob not? And as they slowly, and the crowd is just, you can hear it growing. And I was just like, oh my God. It was hard for me, and no slight to Jay, no slight to anything. It was hard for me to process anything else after I saw that face-off.
Yeah.
I was like, this is printing money.
I think I just remembered my actual favorite part, which was Tongaloa massaging Jey Uso. That was great.
Yeah.
Tongaloa is always...
Tongaloa is the man. I fucking love him.
He's so fucking...
He's my favorite wrestler.
Yeah, that was my favorite part. And again, nothing to do with the match, but I'm like, yes, give me that main event for the next 10 years, please.
But I also want them to wait a bit on it. Make us really want it.
Yes, you can wait like 2 years.
Well, you still got to deal with this bloodline
100%.
storyline.
But now by you doing that, now you have the callback.
Exactly.
Like, you set it up to give yourself that down the road, and like regardless of where they go, face, heel, whatever, like you're gonna print money with the two of those guys as your champ for a long time to come. So I love that they set it up.
Raw started hot. Seth
did.
Bronson Reed, that was wild.
Seth freaking man.
Seth is I mean,
love this version of Seth.
Me too. Just
love
aggressive.
It. Yeah.
He feels like he has a chip on his shoulder.
Feels like we're getting close to him being a heel too.
Pretty close.
This is the early stages of what will eventually be a heel turn.
Right. Like. It's got to be after this feud though, because Bronson Reed is still monster 100%. Heel. You know, obviously injuring multiple people.
I think, and again, I know it's tough.
Give him Give him a couple more feuds as a face before it even happens. Slowly build to it. Don't just instantly do it.
No, because I think Seth is best as a heel.
Right.
He just is. I mean, the architect, and granted, the last iteration, of course, was great as a face. Yeah. Fucking the wardrobe and everything, but he is a fucking heel through and through. Yeah.
And I love the continued brawls throughout the show, good, backstage.
Just because they always just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like you never saw it coming.
Right. But to start the show, and again, we've talked about how we love how we're following folks all the way from the back through Gorilla. I love I don't know if you noticed, he went through Gorilla and hummed his jacket at some poor guy.
Yeah.
I don't know who it was. That guy got drilled with the jacket. Hit the fucking, that was so good. Come on, I'm going to make you famous. That's Seth, man.
Yeah, it's so good.
Seth.
Yeah, the letting these guys just go on these unhinged backstage brawls, fucking awesome.
No, it was so good. Man, kudos to Bronson Reed, man.
Bronson Reed turned it around. I mean, he's definitely stepped up, and everything he's done this past few months have been really entertaining, and I think this feud has been great, and will continue to be great. We saw the return of the Wyatt Six attacking the Final Testament. Hey, they're going to make Final Testament interesting.
Yeah. Huge pop.
Yeah. Massive pop.
I've been wondering.
Nice little brawl.
Even earlier in the show, I was like, when's the last time we saw the Wyatt Six?
But I like this. I like that about them, though, because it keeps them fresh. It makes sense. They're not just rushing from feud to feud and randomly attacking people. The Fiend got kind of overkilled, right? In a way where, it just felt like a lot of things were forced towards the end,
Especially when they made him world champion.
And all that. So I like that they're using the Wyatt Six as these kind of you never know when they're going to show up type shit. So
and I love you're putting them with an actual stable who is a full stable. So you have your
plus the Miz.
So you throw the Miz in there. You have Scarlett. So you have the woman in there. You have Karen Cross, your leader, who's not all there. Also, so he can lean into it. They can all lean into it. I thought it was the perfect placement for them. I'm curious your thoughts on Paul Ellering.
I think this is to write him off.
Yes, I'm thinking the same. So I know we've talked about it. What you have Paul Ellering there. You have this fucking insane legend who is credited so much for Road Warriors and Legion of Doom and that. And you put him with this team of Authors in Pain and in Final Testament. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't interfere. He's just there. And I was wondering at first, I'm like, oh wow, they're gonna get him involved. And I'm like, okay, this is to write him off. And in my head, I'm like, he's 70-something-year-old man. If you ain't using him, let his ass go home.
Right.
Let him
make him go on the road every week.
Yeah. So I kind of hope it is to write him off. Originally, I would have loved to have him more involved, but I think now it doesn't really make sense.
Nah, I agree. I also don't, especially now that you've added the Wyatt Six, I don't think you need Paul Ellering in that storyline anymore.
I don't think so either.
So just let him go enjoy.
And Karrion Kross is the talker anyway.
Right.
And Karrion Kross is doing great stuff.
Yeah, he's turned it around.
He cut a good promo.
Keep giving him more opportunities.
I didn't like the Xavier Woods stuff, but I'm liking.
The Xavier Woods just went too long.
Yeah.
That could have been good if it was shorter.
Yeah, that kind of probably got changed.
They cut back to him 40 times.
Right. R-Truth, all of a sudden, is he going to be popping up a New Day now? And that's going to be what wedges between Xavier and Kofi.
Even before,
Truth is
like
the best.
when Truth came in, I thought Woods was gonna not be with it, but obviously they got the win, and it made sense then when you get to the ramp to set it up that way. But at first I was like, oh, so you're gonna now give Truth a hard time,
right?
Truth helped out, so yeah, I'm curious to see when it's gonna happen with the New Day, and if hopefully Big E is involved.
That's a Mania feud.
I still think they end up staying together.
Yeah, more than likely.
Survivor Series, I think, is supposed to be their 10 year, and I think that's when we're actually going to see Big E back on camera. And I think he's going to have like a promo that brings them all back together.
Yeah, something. I just wanted to involve Big E.
Yes.
Just make sure you get him in there and just do it right.
I could see that being a Mania feud too, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, if they are going to be a feud,
if they're going to go for it, they're going to go for it. That's your build.
And it could be where it culminates at Mania, where again, maybe it's Kofi versus Xavier, and Big E's a special guest referee, and fucking somehow one goes over, and in the end, all hugging
each other. Yeah,
it could be that. It could still
there's
be
a misunderstanding.
Still could be very rewarding at the end, where you get the payoff of the feud, but you also get the payoff of New Day being together, standing united at Mania.
I like that.
You
idea.
can do it both ways. You just got to get it right.
Right.
I like that idea a lot. I'm hoping that's kind of the direction that they go in.
Trips, you heard it here.
Yeah, you heard it here first, brother.
Where we approve you going with that.
Yeah, go for it. We didn't even got to credit us.
Then
in writing, just on TV.
Right.
What do we have left here? The Crown Jewel hype, I feel like, is pretty low.
There's none.
There's really no hype for it at all.
No.
That belt is going to be so stupid.
You almost
looking.
wonder if because Saudi Arabia forced that belt on him, Triple H is like, all right, well, fuck you, then I'm not really going to promote this much.
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
You're forcing my hand in something.
I would assume that next week's Raw will be very Crown Jewel heavy.
Yes, to go home, right?
And starting on is it SmackDown this Friday where we're getting Gunther and Cody face off, right?
Right.
I think so.
I think it's going to really pick up starting this Friday too. But
It'll pick up. What else is even on that card? I dead ass don't even know.
The two. I only know the two Crown Jewel title matches and Seth and
Bronson Reed. That's it.
Those are the only ones I know of
so far.
It's got to be more.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah. They'll force a few in
Goldberg's
there.
Goldberg's
gonna pop up. No, Goldberg and Undertaker again? They're running that back?
Absolutely. You got to figure that's already 3, so they'll only add 2 more.
Right. Yeah. We'll see what it is.
They won't do it in Saudi Arabia because of the genders involved, but there is rumors that they're going to do a Rhea Ripley Dominic Mysterio match. But there's no way they're going to have a woman go over a man in Saudi Arabia.
No. She will be stoned before.
Somebody will get murdered in that, like on TV probably. If that
I would have liked, and I don't think they're not going to do it because the match is happening this week. But I wouldn't have been mad at the Andrade Carmelo Game 7 match happening at Crown Jewel. Like that could have been great. You have LA Knight as a special guest referee. A feud. You have a culmination, a payoff. You let them go out and just fucking tear the house down and give them the time. That could have been
because those 6 matches so far have been incredible.
Bangers.
Give them a PLE to finally emphasize it. I agree. You should have put that.
That could have been good because I'm trying to think of like other stuff that could be on there, should be on there, or like that's happening right now. And
right.
Any tag team? Like, is it tag team titles? Is that going to be?
So
is this tournament leading to Crown Jewel, or is it to?
Maybe the finals are going to be
maybe.
Crown Jewel.
Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe because they haven't announced the
number one
final. I know they said over the
It's
next 2 weeks.
It's a PLE that's not WrestleMania, so that means no tag title matches. Because that's how it goes so far. They haven't been defended since Mania on PLE. That's insane
wild
to think about.
That is kind of wild.
I'm curious, have you guys, like the way they've done the champion versus champion? So obviously on the men's side, you have your prototypical heel, your white meat babyface heel, and you have your fucking, your heel and Gunther. But then on the women's side, you have 2 heels.
Yeah.
And it seems like the 2 heels have been more at it than the face and the heel.
Yes.
Which has been very interesting. I don't hate it because it's different. But it's been kind of weird for me to see Gunther being so complimentary of Cody, and obviously Cody's going to do the same, but then you got the women just trying to kill each other as both heels. It's been interesting how they've kind of flipped it. I thought it was going to be the opposite. I thought it was going to be kind of like Liv and Nia, like, sizing each other up, feeling each other out, but still staying in their heel characters, and then Cody and Gunther, particularly Gunther, just shitting on them. So it's been interesting for me that they've kind of flipped that.
Yeah, although shitting on each other is not fully Gunther and Cody's character.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of is for Gunther lately, but it's not fully his character.
In
like
his
I
very
kind of
Gunther way.
Yeah. Almost
very
like
mad,
like talking down to you.
Like smug, very smug.
That's
so
the
there
word
hasn't
I
been as
couldn't
much of that. I think maybe we get that Friday, right?
Yeah.
I think it's building to that.
Yeah,
but
because this is their first face-to-face, right?
No, they were face-to-face.
No, they face-to-face
last week.
Was it when they first announced it?
Yeah.
When they first announced it, like the next show, whenever the next show was.
That's when Gunther was like, so complimentary of Cody.
Yeah,
that's what
talking about,
like he's giving him so much love, and he was like, we're in a boom period, and it's because he's the quarterback, but now I'm going to be the quarterback. So
when he said,
have no memory of that.
He said, if you love by everybody, you're loved by nobody, or something like that.
It was a good Gunther promo.
He says everybody loves you, which is a problem because like
I don't disagree.
He's
with
like,
anything
that's
you
why
guys say.
you've put yourself in that position because everyone loves you and you want to make everyone happy, and that's why Kevin Owens and he's kind of flipped it. So it's been good, but it's just been. It's funny the two guys carrying the briefcase, like in my head, and like not to like profile, but like. Are those supposed to be like Saudi guys just because like their complexion?
I always just got Stanley Cup vibes.
Yeah, but with the total opposite.
Yes.
Not that same fucking white dude with the white gloves who's been around for the 30 years. Yeah. But like it was so funny because I'm like, these are probably just guys from the PC, but I'm like, did they purposely try to get guys that look Saudi?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Also, why do they need white gloves for the belt? I don't know.
I know.
Also,
like Trips doesn't wear white gloves when he, shows them off.
Maybe Carlito booked those guys.
Maybe. That's entirely possible. Given what he said on Raw.
With his
that was rough.
Improper nomenclature. Listen, here I'm not dumb by Carlito. He also does play a very dumb character. Yeah. That'd be like me saying something in Portuguese and you saying like I need to learn my Spanish.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
Like I get what he was trying to do and it might have worked 20 years ago, but it's just you got to be It is
time and place.
No, I'm not gonna lie. In the moment, it didn't even register for me.
It didn't either.
Oh shit! Moment.
But that goes to show you
saw the just the outpouring of like, oh my god, he said that, or they see backstage, and I'm like, really?
I mean, the fact that they literally cut it out of all of the replays.
Yeah, I listen.
I'd like to give him the benefit.
Is it dumb? Yes.
But again, it's his character.
In the moment when you're trying to be like the dumb guy that's like always horny, I think that he meant well. I don't think he meant it as a derogatory thing.
No.
And it just came out that way. It was dumb. Again, I don't see Carlito as a hateful person or or trying to be
I don't think
demeaning.
There was any ill intent or intention.
Yeah.
And I'm sure even if you ask the women involved, like, if anyone can be offended, it's them. But like, I'm sure if you ask them, they would be like, yeah, no, it's just part of the promo and the gimmick, and like we know that's not him or whatever. Like, yeah, it didn't. I don't know. It didn't register for me. And
I don't know. To me, it's just it is what it is. The internet's gonna do what it does with it, and it's gonna be mad. And I don't think that deep down Carlito meant any ill intent behind it.
No, I don't
also,
think so.
like a week from now, it'll blow over.
Yeah, I mean, it pretty much. I feel like it already has.
I think so too. But
by Raw, it'll be done and over with.
Oh, for sure.
What else? Anything else? What am I missing? Am I missing anything?
So it's not like in ring product wise, but you guys hear the thing about allegedly like AEW's contract for like banning people from immediately jumping to WWE?
Wait, they've added it like a non-compete?
So it's not for contracted wrestlers. It's for when they do like
Injury
Forbidden
time.
Door and stuff. Like it apparently stemmed from the Stephanie McMahon thing.
Yeah.
She wrestles at Forbidden Door, has a killer match, and then like 10 days later signs with WWE.
They want to have a grace period.
So now they have this thing like if you're going to work on our show, you can't sign with WWE for however many.
That's such a
days.
Petty Tony Khan bullshit.
That was something I know.
Yes.
Our new segments we were talking about, that was actually one that I wanted to talk about in terms of the new segment because it involves the Lucha Brothers and very similar.
Yeah.
So there I did notice that, and I was just like, okay, I get it, but like
it was very I saw that and I was like, that's weird.
Yeah, like it just comes across. It doesn't look good.
No.
For the outside perspective of Tony Khan and the company, it just doesn't. It doesn't. So
I guess we'll end with this. There's been a new lawsuit filed today by former WWE Ring Boys against WWE, TKO, Vince McMahon, and Linda McMahon. DeCello, Levitt, and Murphy. Falcon and Murphy.
That's a law firm.
Okay, that's a law firm. Filed a major lawsuit today against World Wrestling Entertainment, Vincent Kennedy McMahon and Linda McMahon and the TKO Group Holdings on behalf of 5 survivors of sexual abuse. So we heard about this story loosely in the documentary. The underage ring boys were groomed, exploited, and sexually abused by Phillips, which was a referee. I'm sorry, ringside announcer.
Yeah.
Melvin Phillips. So if you're in the know, you're in the know. We don't need to go through this whole statement here because it's very long. But we were expecting some fallout from the documentary, from some of this stuff that has been resurfaced. And I'm assuming it took, a month, about a little less than a month for this kind of to come about because they kind of wanted to, I'm assuming they probably wanted to have all their eggs in order?
In one basket?
In one basket.
There you go.
Ducks
in a row.
Ducks in a row would have been way better. Yeah. Fuck. I'm so tired right now. Ducks in a row. And yeah, I mean, this is the best time for them to do this because of the exposure that and the microscope that Vince McMahon and is under. And I'm assuming there'll probably be some type of settlement here.
And I think, like, coming from the doc, obviously they talked a few scandals. This was the one scandal where I think they were the most like, yeah, it happened.
Yeah.
But it didn't have anything to do with us. It was this one guy, and he went rogue.
Right.
And, you know, they said Pat Patterson was involved, but he wasn't. But, like, for us, we didn't do anything, but we shut it down. Like, it was the one thing where they were like, yeah, it happened, but it didn't involve us.
It reminded me very
a lot
much
of the other scandals, they were like, nope, didn't happen, wasn't what it was, or statute of limitations are up. Like, so that was probably the easiest one to be like, okay, yeah, we see it.
Right. Did you guys see the Nickelodeon documentary about like Dan Schneider?
I've heard of it.
I didn't watch it. I've seen some
was
clips.
it Quiet on the Set?
Yeah.
Quiet on the Set. This reminds me of that. Where
Fuck all Dan Schneiders, by the way.
Yes.
Whether you're an owner of a football team or a Nickelodeon guy.
Oh wait, is it Dan?
Schneider's the one that owns the team.
Yes.
Is it Dan? Is Dan Schneider?
Yeah.
I know, but if I'm talking about
Dan Schneider is the Nickelodeon guy.
Dan
Okay.
Dan Snyder owned the Washington.
Well, Dan Schneider.
Both scumbags.
Yeah, 100%.
Dan Schneider was alleged more of like crude humor and inappropriate humor and
he like showed some of the kids like porn and stuff like that.
Yeah,
allegedly,
just like a bunch of like weird stuff like that, which is extremely just bad. I mean, just weird, and he had a really bad work environment, and all that stuff. But there was an actual person that worked for them that was actually and got charged for sexually abusing the child actors on the set of these shows, which is terrible, and that's something that they obviously weren't able to deny. That story kind of reminds me of this one with Melvin Phillips, where they were like, yeah, that happened, has nothing to do with the company. Like Nickelodeon was like this, this was something that we didn't know of or whatever. Similar situation here. Obviously, more details need to come out, but my assumption is that this is going to lead to a settlement of some sort.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because this is not something, when he's facing all those other lawsuits with Janelle Grant, he's probably not going to have to deal with, not deal with this. Like, this is some fucking, like, inconvenience, but it just seems like something that they are aware of, know it probably happened, and are going to come to some type of settlement.
My only thing is, like, do you guys think Vince is egotistical as fuck? Is there going to be a part of him that's like, I could beat this?
Maybe.
At this point, I think no. Because I think there's just going to be so many people around him.
I mean, he won't.
Pick your battles, choose your battles. And also because Linda's involved too. Like, Linda's named in it, where I think she might be like, no, we're not doing this shit. Like,
and also, he's not. It's not as if he's the one being alleged to do these acts. He was
It was just part of the under his. He's the one being sued.
It's under his.
He's one of the ones.
The thing I was interested in the name not being in the suit was Pat Patterson, because I know during the documentary they talked about Pat potentially being involved or knowing whatever.
Well,
no one knows.
Dead,
but he wasn't in there, so I guess in part of me I was curious to see if he would have been or wasn't. So,
I mean, they might mention it in like the actual filings. I don't know if this is the whole thing, but I'm assuming that there's probably mention of him somewhere. Not that it matters for him now, but
but it's a state.
You
can get money.
No, of course, yeah. I'm saying like for him personally,
right. I don't know how it works with like civil lawsuits, but I know when the thing first happened, he was found. I think I could be wrong. I may have to double check this, but I think in the court of law he was found innocent. So I don't know if it's like some type of double jeopardy thing where they can't sue him.
Oh, like statute of limitations type shit.
Kinda, yeah. I know you can't be tried twice for the same crime.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if that's different with the civil lawsuit.
Big thing, and that's important to separate criminal versus
That's why I don't know. In fact, this more than likely being a civil lawsuit. I don't know. That may not qualify for that. I don't know.
There's so many things like criminally that are so much harder to prove. Or civilly, it's a little different. Right. It's a lot easier to prove some things. Which
is why a lot of civil cases get settled out of court.
Exactly. And this Vince McMahon settles a case once a week at this
practically.
Yeah. Tough times. But
I think first of many too. I think honestly, I'm surprised it took this long to have additional suits.
Well, we know
of lawsuits can take a while to put together.
100%. And like even looking at the off topic, but not really, the Diddy suit, the lawyer, I think Tony Busby or whatever, like got 200 people to file. Like didn't get 200 people. 200 people filed the suit, and obviously that takes time, and you got to go through the process. So I guess I shouldn't be surprised that it took a while, but I'm also expecting there to be a lot more dominoes to fall because now it's a lot easier for someone who might have been wrong to be like, okay, other people are speaking up, and I might feel a little more comfortable, a little safer or it's further removed. I'm comfortable saying these things. So I think this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, and you got to think about a lot of times these massive companies end up settling years down the road because people just can't afford to keep going to court.
Right.
You know, that this is what they do. They beat you down, and they delay the process. They're multi-billionaires. They can afford to make this thing last 25 years, because lawyers will always find some type of loophole, which is why having 120 or whatever it is now people come forward. For Diddy. It was like 120. I'm thinking not Vince, Diddy. That's gonna work against them and strengthen numbers, I guess.
I mean, you think it took months for 25 people to come forward against Bill Cosby?
Yeah.
So it takes a while for it to happen.
I mean, you think about it. Like hush money is a factor here too. Yeah. Diddy did it for years. Yeah. I mean, he paid. Right. He paid a hotel however much money to keep the footage of him, beating up Cassie.
Mm-hmm. And if there's some type of an NDA here, I don't know how that works legally.
Well, he had NDAs.
If you can sue while you're still under it. I don't know how that works.
Yeah. These days, I mean, it's just.
We're not lawyers. So
no, absolutely not. None of this is illegal advice or anything.
Diddy's trial's not scheduled to start until next May.
Right.
I think May 5th might be Cinco de Mayo, but it's not supposed to start. And they're already saying that it's not. No way in hell it's going to start on that day. It's going to get pushed back and push back and push back.
And the reason why for that specific case, which could actually be. What they're going to try to do for this case as well is that I think by December 31st for the Diddy case, they need to have all evidence. They're gonna push that back too.
That could be different than this though, because that's a criminal case. Where this is, I'm assuming this is a civil case, and I don't think you need much, if any, evidence in a civil case.
Yeah, I don't know. Not a lawyer, definitely not.
Exactly right.
Not nearly.
Everything I just said could factually be wrong. So
yeah.
Yeah, I think
you don't come here for facts.
No.
That's
the moral of the story is
you made a bad choice.
These aren't going away, Vince.
No,
etc. There's just going to be more and more.
You don't come here for facts on legal matters or medical matters.
No, or facts in general. We're probably wrong a lot.
Yeah. Well, we'll give you.
We're dumb.
Yeah, no, we're wrong a lot.
We're
just dumb.
Well, I can't speak for you guys, but I'm dumb.
You can't listen. They don't even fact check fucking political, debates.
Right. Exactly.
So you can't fucking fact check us. We're just having fun on a podcast.
I just know that anybody of anything. So I think legally we're fine.
I just know that quarter pounders have E. coli, and I don't like that.
Some of them.
A lot of them. The ones that closed McDonald's.
A lot of them.
It might have been.
10 people died or something.
Did they die? I knew a lot of them got sick.
I think 10 people died from this.
All from the quarter pounder.
E. coli can fuck you up.
No, I know. It can kill you.
How long did it take them from their last quarter pounder until they died?
I don't know.
I'm just curious. Asking for no specific reasons.
No, I really wanted.
That's why you got to get the chicken Big Mac.
I did try it the other day.
How is it? I'm intrigued. It looks gross, but I'm but I kind of want to try it.
Yes. So
it's not like an Impossible Burger or anything.
No. So it's a giant chicken nugget, isn't it? It's not even the McChicken.
It's two McChickens.
Okay.
I've heard it's not even the same chicken as a McChicken though. I've heard it's the same as a nugget. It's basically like a giant chicken nugget on a Big Mac.
Kinda. It's a McChicken, a little thicker McChicken. Yeah. But I went the other day. I was late. I stopped at McDonald's quickly. I'm in line, and there's this man in line who's looking for some food. So I'm like, yeah, what do you want? He's like, oh, Big Mac. Cool. Pull up to the window, go to order him a Big Mac. And the guy's like, beef or chicken? And I'm like, what?
Beef or chicken?
I'm like, is this guy fucking high?
Yeah, what is going on? Beef? What are you talking about?
And he's like, oh, okay, I thought you wanted the chicken one. And I'm like, chicken one? And I look up the menu, and it's staring at me. Big chicken Big Mac. I'm like, oh. I'm like, all right, cool. The regular beef Big Mac for that guy, but I'll try the chicken one.
Yeah.
Don't do it. It's a mess because with all the sauce and everything, the lettuce, it fell apart.
Big Macs are always a mess.
Yeah, exactly. So it's even worse. I end up literally just pulling the two pieces of chicken out and making two sandwiches.
Yeah, Big Macs
sandwiches. It's just
I gave up on the Big Macs. Too messy.
It is. It's too much.
I did fall for the trap. I went to Wendy's. I got the Krabby Patty last week. I mean, it's basically the Dave's single with
sauce?
but with a Mac sauce. I think it's I'm pretty sure it's the Big Mac.
It's like Thousand Island dressing.
It's pretty much what it is. Yeah, that's it. So I fell for it. I did not get the pineapple frosty though.
No, good call.
No interest in that at all. Keep it. Fucking keep it.
Yeah,
all right, that's what I have to say to that.
I've just always felt like when it comes to fast food places, Wendy's is the best of the big.
Yeah,
anyway.
Wendy's pretty. They're solid.
I'm intrigued to try that one.
They don't
listen. I love fast food. I don't.
I also really love fast food. I don't know if it shows or not.
I wish I could have it every day. I don't.
Yeah, I could.
But I could.
If I was just left to myself and
Yeah.
I didn't have a wife who wants me to live long and prosper.
Right. When I was a single man, I did have it a lot. But I do love me all of them. I don't really think there's one that I don't.
Yeah,
like.
I do not.
The amount of times
discriminate.
I've driven home from work and been like, oh, you know what? Yeah, I'll stop at Jersey Mike's right now. Why not?
Yeah. Jersey Mike's is good for.
Kudos to you, because
yeah.
at least you're getting freshly cut. Deli meat.
Yeah, I mean that's not the only place I stop. I stop at all of them.
No.
Yeah, there's
Especially now that they've added new ones. Like there's a Chipotle near me now that I've stopped at quite a bit.
Yeah,
in the
but
Jersey
then
Mike's.
My thing that I hate the most is like when I'm watching TV and I get a fucking commercial
Oh,
for
dude.
something that is not.
I am
anywhere
starving
that
right
is
now.
fucking
This is
3
bad.
hours away, and it's like Wingstop, and I'm like, stop fucking Wingstop,
Right?
I know.
Here or all these other things. I'm like, they're not around. Stop showing me these things.
Now, when you see Wingstops, do you have a Paizones near you?
Near me, I'm trying to think.
Or close enough that they would deliver?
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Okay, so order their specific Paizoni wings. Dude, they're like the
wing
best
dings.
fucking wings I've ever had.
Wingdings,
Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
I've just always seen them as Paizonis
I fuck with
blend or
Paizonis
something
too.
like that.
Paizonis is
Their
solid.
wings are
Yeah,
Yeah,
fucking
you know my
awesome.
godparents found they started Paizonis.
Did they?
Yeah, my godparents did. Yeah, that was my first job ever. Washing
remember
dishes,
that.
Yeah.
Why are they not sponsoring the podcast?
That's a great question.
Right?
We'll have to work on that.
coming.
We'll have to
It's
work on
Because I remember
that.
the time we ordered Paizonis and you showed up at my house with a receipt that had somebody else's name on it.
That sounds
not
about
my
right.
name.
That was me.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, I was a
Everything
delivery
is
driver.
Pro Wrestling Podcast presented by Paul.
No, but
coming soon.
it
Washing
wasn't you
dishes.
because you weren't the one who took the order. Somebody else took the order, and literally everything else was right. My order was right, my address was right, and the name was something else, and you thought I put like a fake name. And we were both very confused when you said I don't remember what the name was. You're like, oh, is there a Steve Thomas here or some shit? And I'm like, what? And
Sure,
you were like,
if you
You related to
you
Dave?
put the joke on there.
Yeah, I to this day, I was 19 delivering pizza. It was one of my favorite jobs I ever had in my life. Washing the dishes part sucked ass, but being a delivery driver, listening to sports radio all day, listening to like Watch the Throne when it came out, Frank Ocean's Nostalgia Ultra, like that was just like great times for me. And then my tip money just became booze money.
Yep.
And it was just a lot of fun. I am starving, so I'm going to go eat.
That didn't help.
Great fucking show this week, boys.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, tell everybody. We got some exciting stuff coming the next couple weeks, actually. We have a couple of special guests that are going to be joining the show. We're probably going to do those as individual videos because of timing with these guys.
Yep.
We're going to try to make something work there. But regardless, we will have some extra content for you these next couple of weeks on top of our regular shows.
Yeah.
So
new segments as well.
yeah, we're going to be
segments.
introducing some new segments. We are going to be doing that. That'll make things fun. I'm going to try to be able to. I told myself I'm going to start writing down time stamps. I didn't.
Yeah.
So if you're somebody who doesn't have an hour and 20 minutes to listen to a whole show and you're looking for certain conversations, I will get to that.
Just skip around a bit.
Or
Take
if you're looking for an internship,
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yes.
That's also
A
true.
free. Listen, I'm sorry we can't afford to pay
You're
you.
more than welcome. We'll pay you in Paizonis.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
We will buy you Paizonis and.
Their wings are fucking incredible.
Yeah, if you know somebody interested in, I do love doing all of this content, but at the same time, I'd like to be able to
We
put
want
timestamps.
to invest in the future.
I don't have
Right.
time for timestamps, if that makes sense.
sense.
Love you
We're at
guys.
the post office.
Yeah, what the fuck, dude? I don't got time for that shit.
You ain't paying us 25 cents for our stamps.
Yeah. The fact that you got to
Actually,
pay
it's
for
way more
stamps.
than that now for stamps.
I know.
It's like
Why?
$1.50.
Why are we paying for
We only need
stamps?
about
I can't
$3.50.
afford stamps. All right, everybody. We'll see you back here next week. Peace.